Okay, so how did your logic work? Were they able to get two matching socks on when it was all finished? Here is what my instructions look like. So I have set socks on feet to 0. Repeat the following steps as long as they don't have two socks on their feet. When socks on feet is 2, then stop the steps. And then I have 6 steps. 1, open the sock drawer. 2, look for a sock. If there are no socks, do the laundry. 3, put on the socks. Now the socks on feet will be set to 1. 4, look for a matching sock. 5, if you found a matching sock, put it on and add 2 socks on feet. 6, if you did not find a matching sock, remove the first sock and subtract 1 from socks on feet. And then they would go up and repeat the steps. So if they were lucky, the first time through the steps, you'd have either 0, and if they were lucky, have 1 sock on your foot. So you'd have to go through the steps at least twice if you were lucky enough to find 2 matching socks the first 2 times. And then that second time you would be done. But if you might also have to repeat the number of steps a number of times depending on what socks you ended up choosing. So let me show you also an example of a flow chart and what it would look like. Now flow chart, so this has the flow chart and also has some pseudocode that shows the same logic. A flow chart is going to be a very visual representation of the logic using shapes like ovals for the start and ending. It's going to use parallelograms for input and output, diamonds for decisions that need to be answered, arrows for the flow or the process direction, rectangles for sequential basic processing, and that's, so if you look at there, you can look over the visual flow chart there and how that works. Now, you don't have to use the visual flow chart. You can use pseudocode. The pseudocode is like our instructions, and it's still read by humans, but in this case, this pseudocode happens to be very close to what actual programming code looks like. So the idea here is as you learn the code, you're going to be able to transfer that very easily to take your pseudocode and create the code from it later on. So this is how the pseudocode here reads. It says, let me see if I can zoom in a little. Okay, it says socks on feet equals 0, while socks on feet are not equal to 2. Open sock drawer, look for sock. If you find a sock, then put on sock. Socks on feet is equal to socks on feet plus 1. Look for matching sock. If you find a matching sock, then put on the matching sock. Socks on feet equals socks on feet plus 1. Close sock drawer. Else, remove sock from foot. And socks on feet equals socks on feet minus 1. And then the else that matches with the while loop would say, if you didn't have a sock, or I guess it matches with the first if, I'm sorry, then they need to do laundry and replenish it. And then the while would start over again and you would loop through just like we did with our steps before. But you can see this is using some keywords and things like that that might be a little closer to what you'll see in programming languages. We don't know the programming syntax yet, so ours may not look like this, but as you learn the different coding languages, then yours will look closer to this one. So hopefully yours was close.